Hello everyone! It is Melissa Faust from stampwithmelissa.com and welcome to my Tuesday night live video. It is Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025, 5 p.m. Central Time, my local time. And I am so excited to be with you today. This is my first normal live in 2 weeks. I can't believe it. Last week we had the Fun Fold Frenzy going on. And that was a lot of fun. And you know what's funny? Okay, so I had this figured out and I mirrored my camera, but I think it only did it later. Let me try something. I'm gonna flip. Hold on. Not like flip out, but like flip around. Oh, that's so weird. But anyway, I was like, oh, this is so cool. I figured out how to like flip my camera around because this is actually like shows correctly to me. And I think I only did it in like the scene where you can see my stamping. I don't know. Anywho, so I was like, hold on, I'm backwards again. So I might look a little flipped around from what you're used to, but this is the right way to me. So anyway, welcome in everybody. As you join, whether you are watching live or on the replay, please leave a comment and say hello. As I was mentioning before I distracted myself, squirrel moment, we're going to have a lot of those today because of the bundle we're working with. But anyway, last week was the Fun Fold Frenzy craft along, so there were videos that went up on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I hope you enjoyed all of those fun folds. There were 2 each day, so there's 8 fun folds there. They were a lot of fun. Some of them I had made before, but it had been a while, and the others I had never made. So none of them were like my go-to fun fold. Do you have that? Do you have like a go-to? I have a couple of go-to fun folds, and none of them were those. So that was really cool. I think we really pulled out all the stops to bring you some fun, new, hopefully exciting cards. So hello Marva, hello cutie puppies, hello Mom and Mary Jo and Alicia and Anne. Hello everyone. My clock is backwards, sorry. Sorry Marva. I just when I'm doing things like this is really my right hand, and I don't know how it comes through on the actual video, but I'm going to my right. And before it was flipped, and you would think that like your brain would go, okay, this is my right hand, I'm gonna move it. But really I watched myself in the video. So then I'm like, oh, this way. Oops, I mean this way. So I apologize that the clock is backwards, but anywho, yeah, and you can see the window, you know, the nice glare. It's all great. Anywho, this is just the best setup I have for my new stuff. Okay, so today we're going to play with a brand new bundle that comes out tomorrow. Demonstrators have had access to order it for about a month now, since the beginning of August. And it's awesome, you guys. It is a squirrel bundle, which you knew. You had to know. Once you saw it, you had to know, right? That we were going to play with it. So let me go ahead and flip my screen down or my camera so you can see my desktop at the same time. Look, I was playing with my lighting tonight. Like, it's a new month. I was just having fun with all of it. And I think I got the lighting looking pretty good now. So that's good because this is maybe like a lot of information that you might not really care about, but I have like an LED light strip above, and so my webcam picks up LED lights really weird and it flickers. So I have this thing called auto exposure that I can turn off and on, and when I turned it off, everything started flickering, and when I turned it on, it stopped. But then when I had different things on my desktop, it would change the color of the video, and it drove me crazy. So I think I got it figured out. I know that's one of those little things that is like, who cares? We're just here for the cards, right? But for me, I'm like, that looks awful. So, hi Anne, hi Joan, hi Jenny. Ooh, from Australia and Holland. I love it. And St. Paul, Minnesota, right? My neighbor, Joan, right? Right. Okay, so we are going to play today with Fluffy Squirrel. It is coming out tomorrow, so it might be on your wish list. And if it's not, I hope I change your mind tonight. Because, oh, Joan's not oh my gosh, I know. She said she's not a fan of squirrels right now because they leave a mess. Yeah, real squirrels, they're fun to watch sometimes. We have a lot of them. There's like, you know, that tree disease, emerald ash borer is going around, but our trees are treated. So a lot of neighbors' trees have had to be cut down or whatever because they're diseased. And so all of the squirrels live in the trees in our backyard. And so it's kind of funny because sometimes like I'll be upstairs and I can hear them on the roof, and then you can hear them dropping their acorns, and then you see them like chasing each other up the trees, and that's fun to watch. But yeah, I get it. So hi Tracy. I know it totally has me written all over it. I saw the squirrels and I went, oh, So anywho, we are going to play with this. It is a photopolymer stamp set because we've got some two-step stamping. You've got these two images right here that you can actually use to color in the squirrels. We are going to use those tonight. We are also going to use some blends because we just have to. We also have a teensy little bit of fussy cutting tonight, but this is a punch bundle. So here's the other side because I'll try, but I don't want to blind you. Sometimes there, that's not too bad. I just don't want to hit the light weird. You can see the squirrel and the acorn, so that's what the punch will cut out for you. And it is in the mini catalog. Now, today, the day that we are live, it is September 2nd. The mini catalog launches tomorrow, September 3rd. So I cannot open this on camera yet, but if you flip to page 49, you will find this bundle, and I can hold it up to myself and tell you, because I don't know off the top of my head. The bundle is $41.25, in case you were curious. So super duper awesome set, okay? Now, I am going to show you the cards we're going to make tonight, but I do also want to sneak peek Club to you, so I think I'm going to show you Club first. If you are a current club member, I'll let you know when to close your eyes if you don't want to see the cards. But we are doing something different for Club this month. I don't know if I've done this before. I maybe have, but it's not. Usually I pick a bundle, and so this is not something I do often. This month, instead of a bundle, we're actually going to use two stamp sets. So we've got this woodland scenery that has no sentiments, and we've got Wishing You Joy that is all sentiments. And the cool thing about this that I did not realize seeing it in the catalog, I only realized it when I started playing, is that it's like the same sentiment in a bunch of different fonts. So you've got Wishing You Joy right here, and right here, right? So it's in 3 different fonts. So what do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4 different sentiments in 3 different fonts. So I thought that was really a cool way that they did that. And it just makes each card look a little bit different. So I am going to sneak peek you the cards now. If you are a current club member and you want to be surprised, close your eyes now. Okay. And okay, let's go ahead because they are super fun. We are doing Christmas. I'm trying to show you so you can see that fun little piece there. These cards are like rustic, right? You've got that woodland scenery. So I am calling this the Woodland Joy Club Create, kind of a mix of the 2 stamp set names. Here's this fun one. This is like, look at my twine got all funky. It's 3 times the twine because, you know, in club you get a lot of product, so I want to use that product, and you also of course have leftovers, so you get to make 2 of each. This is a new die set right here, that white tag. You get to make 2 of each of these cards for a total of 8. You get Stampin' Up products, so you're going to get your DSP, you're going to get your twine, you're going to get your embellishments, you get envelopes for all 8 cards, you get all of the pre-cut cardstock pieces, all of that good stuff. So if you are interested in joining club, we'd love to have you join us. The last day to sign up for this club, the Woodland Joy Club, is on Saturday, September 20th. But my motto is do not wait, sign up now. Get yourself signed up, register for that. The link to do that is in the description of this video, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Scroll down towards the bottom and it says want to join club, and there's a link, or you can go to club.stampwithmelissa.com. 1 L, 2 S's in my name. Otherwise, you will not end up in the right place. I don't know where you'll end up, but it won't be on my site. So, anywho, so those are the club cards. You can open your eyes if you had them closed. And it's just going to be a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun designing those. I actually think that was the first, I believe those were the first stamp sets I played with of the new stuff that we're getting, and I just was really excited about them. So, all right, let me show you the cards we are making tonight because they are so squirrely cute. Here's this cute one. Then we've got this one, Go Nuts, It's Your Birthday. I love that as well. We've got this fun one. Super cute. And then this last one I actually cased from the catalog. So page 49 of the catalog. Again, I can't show it to you until tomorrow, but super duper cute, right? So we are going to make these 4 cards together tonight. If you would like the card kits to make these at home, I'd love to send it to you as a thank you gift for placing an order with me this week. So if you place an order $50 or more before tax and shipping and after you've applied any Stampin' Rewards, make sure you hit that $50. I'm going to send you these 4 card kits for free as a thank you gift from me. Oh, thanks, Tracy. She says, do not wait to join Club Create. I like that. That rhymed. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but I didn't see it until I said it. I love it. Anyway, so these will go in the mail. The card kits for these will go in the mail to you next Tuesday, September 9th. You can tell they are very fun and fall-ish. So you'll have lots of time to make Make, create, and mail them. Make and mail, right? All right, so here is the first card, and you guys, you may have seen the two-tone cardstock, but I don't think I've shown it to you yet, and I don't know what was wrong with me. I think it took me a little while to like try it out and be like, yeah, I'm gonna try this stuff, and it is so cool. So I'm excited to show you this. I might get some names wrong tonight because I am using new product, and I'm gonna try my very best to get them right. Okay, especially the word T-O-I-L-E, there's not a chance I'm gonna pronounce that correctly. Because I think it's toil, but then I'm like, no, it's tool. Because isn't there a fabric? I don't know. And you can write it in the comments, but it's still like, if I can't hear you say it. So anyway, you're just gonna excuse me on that, okay? Okay, so for this card, we have a Cajun Craze card base. We've got a piece of the Cajun Craze two-tone cardstock. Now I am embossing this for you with, I gotta look, because I don't remember. It's going to take me a while to learn all the new names. It's called the Gathering Leaves embossing folder, and it is a big embossing folder, okay? Super awesome folder there. Okay, so Gathering Leaves, it is embossed for you, and I embossed it with the light side up. Now, two-tone toile. Toile? Okay, Marva, if that's how I said it is how you spelt it, thank you. Anyway, don't you love sometimes like the English language? Like, what? How do you say that word? Anywho, is it two or two? There, or there? This is embossed with the light side up. Two-tone cardstock is just that. It's two tones. You've got a darker side and a lighter side. The darker side is meant to be the true color. So this is the true Cajun Craze. The light side is always going to be the lighter version. So the darker side is always going to be like your match. Okay, it's pretty close. I mean, the difference here is that our standard cardstock is dyed all the way through. Our two-tone has a white core. So that's where we're going to get into some fun with that. But anyway, I thought the light side would look really fun against this because it is the same color, but a little different, right? A little bit of a different shade. We've got a scrap of white for our stamping. We've got a cute little crumb cake arch die cut from the Everyday Arches dies for our sentiment. You're going to have two pieces of I believe this is the Gathering Together DSP. I believe that's the name. This is going to be really hard. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so we've got these two cute pieces that match our color scheme. So that's what's important, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and start with stamping because that's the best place to start. And I am going to grab my Early Espresso ink pad to begin here. We've got our sentiment that says, "May you gather happiness." We're going to ink that and then stamp that down on the right-hand side of our label. Not like all the way over, but definitely towards that arched side because we're going to tuck that underneath the squirrel on the left-hand side, okay? All right, so we've got that. On our basic white piece, we're going to take our squirrel. Now, this is the squirrel that works with the punch. And we're going to ink this up in Early Espresso and stamp that down. I'm stamping it towards the bottom so it fits in the punch a little bit better. Ask me how I know. I definitely, when I was filming the reels for this week, one of the cards I stamped the squirrel too high and I was like, what was I even thinking? All right, then we're going to pull out pecan pie for the filler of our squirrel. Now I'm going to have to get my head right over this because it is two-step stamping and, you know, you just kind of have to get in there. See things. But anyway, there's a part where the back and the tail meet. That's where I line it up first. And then I kind of just make sure that like the eyeball looks good. Okay, so like right here, that's what I line up first. I like to do the outline stamp first because it is darker. And then it's a little bit easier for me to see where to put the lighter ink. Now my pecan pie is stamped very dark. It's a juicy pad. It is going to lighten up, so we don't have to, like, look at how the difference there. It's going to lighten, don't worry. Okay, and then we can go ahead and punch this out with our punch. And if you wanted to stamp a cute little acorn, you could do that as well. All right, so we're going to just line that up and punch that out. Okay, alrighty. And then we've got all of our pieces. Look at that. This, I love punch bundles because, okay, so I usually go more towards the die bundles because they come with a lot of cool elements, but the punch bundles make for really easy and fun cards, and they come together so quick. So I love that. Okay, so two-tone cardstock. we're going to grab a sanding block. If you don't have a sanding block, you could use like a nail file or something like that, or you don't have to use anything. And we're going to sand off a little bit. This is the embossed side, the lighter side. Look at that. How cool is that? You can see those little white specks. And you can go as much or as little as you want. But I am just sanding off some of that color to expose our white core. And I just think it looks so stinking cool. I'm going to hold that up for you in a second, but I'm going to put my sand. So when I bought the sanding blocks, it came in a 2-pack and I already lost one. So, hi Lori, I was wondering where you were. My squirrel buddy. So there is that. Look how cool that is. Yeah, but I lost my other sanding block, so I have to put it away because I don't want to buy another pack. All right, so let's go ahead and start assembling here. We are going to add some seal to the back of our embossed piece. And it's not too thick, but I do like to add a lot of adhesive to embossed pieces. And you might want to just like wipe off. Hold on, you got to do the little, I don't know what that is. That's not from my cardstock. But I got like schmutz on my desk. Oh well, messy crafter sometime, right? Anywho. Okay, so add that to our card front, and then we can fold and burnish. And I did add it at a slant, but you can put it straight on. That would look really nice for this card as well. Then we're going to take our DSP strips and add some seal. Now our 1/2-inch strip here, this little guy, if you can do your seal straight, you shouldn't need your silicone mat, but if you're nervous, pull out that silicone mat. All right, and then I'm going to tack these down. I'm leaving about 1/8 of an inch on that left-hand edge. You're going to have more space over to the right, so if you want to center that, you can, but I didn't mind the look of it. And then we're going to stick down our little early espresso like birch piece, like so. And I kind of offset them just, you know, the tiny, you can barely see it, but just a teensy little bit. I know, it is cool. I don't, Nancy, but the nice thing about the, oh my gosh, Lori, I don't know. The nice thing about the class to go is you can order whatever you want, so any supplies. Okay, so Lori, I have no idea. I don't know if this tells me. I can look it up. It doesn't say. I'll look it up because I'm not sure. Let me look it up right now because I'm going to forget otherwise. What grit sand block is the question? Orders. I got them off of Amazon. They are these. Hopefully you can see that. This says it's a 6 count, but it's not. Is that the grit? I don't know. I really didn't look for anything specific. Oh, here. Each at 240 to 320 grit. There we go. Oh no! Lori has a rough one and it tore up her paper. Yeah, I didn't look for a specific grit. I don't know if somebody else shared a link to these or if I just, you know, looked them up. But this is what I have. There is a link as well on one of my reels from the other day, but I will share this in my Facebook group tonight. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a screenshot because then later when I'm going through my pictures, I'll be like, why did I do that? Anyway, so I just looked it up. It's from Sizzix, and this is a 2-pack, and I lost one. So go figure. Okay, so let's add some dimensionals because of course we need dimensionals. I got a brand new pack here. Okay, so we're going to add a couple on our sentiment to begin, and then we are going to stick that down right about there. And then on our cute squirrel, we are going to add a couple on him as well. So I'm going to go tail, head, and then like bottom of tail because that like the right side of the body, you know, is going to kind of go over that sentiment. So I don't want any dimensionals that overlap. And I just kind of feel around until I hit that, like, you know, can tell that it's gonna conflict, and we just stick that there. So cute, so cute. All right, then we're going to take some linen thread, and you guys, I have the best news. We have 5 more colors of like a linen thread or baker's twine coming out tomorrow, and I am like jumping for joy. I am like a twine / thread girl. I do like a ribbon, but if I could choose between a ribbon in every single color or a twine in every single color, I would choose twine. So I am just, you know, thrilled. So we have 2 different packs. There's a black. Do we have 5 coming out, or is it 4? It's 4. I lied to you. I'm sorry. This is the other one. It's a black and gold and a white and gold. And then we also have what we're going to use tonight. It's an early espresso and an old olive. And oh my gosh, I could just squeal. They're just the best. Anywho. Okay, I'm going to have a lot of squirrel moments tonight, but you were warned at the beginning of this video because anytime you stamp with squirrels or drink out of squirrel mugs or watch a squirrel out your window, you just become one. I don't know, that's just what happens. Okay, so we've got that linen thread bow. What I was doing there was just kind of squishing that the glue dots behind. And then these are coming out tomorrow as well. These are the Cajun Craze and Gold dots. And they are 3 sizes, so we're going to use a big, a little, and a middle up here. Just like that. And that is our first card. How stinking cute, right? Super easy to come together. That Cajun Craze is so cute, but you could also make this card in old olive, maybe mossy meadow, maybe like a cherry cobbler or a crushed curry. A lot of options for this card. Any fall colors is really what I was going for. Super cute. Hi, Lene. Yes. Oh, Anne bought some too. Oh, thanks, Joan. Joan is reminding you to give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. And I love that because I always forget to say it. So I appreciate that, Joan. I know twine works for absolutely everything. It is the best. All right, this is card number 2. This one is super duper cute. We've got a teensy little bit of fussy cutting on this one. We do have a card, I believe it's our last card, that has a little bit more fussy cutting, but I was not mad about it because it's squirrels. So, okay, so for this one, we've got an early espresso card base. We've got, okay, autumn toile. It sounds French. It probably is French. Autumn toile embossing, nope, DSP. This is a fun little striped pattern, and the other side, it's, you know, sideways, but it's got these cute little foxes on it. I thought that was so stinking cute. And then we've got a basic beige piece that I will emboss for you using the birchwood folder. We've got a new die alert. Come on, I love it. This is the branching out die set. There are a bunch of different shapes of these. I actually, it does go with a bundle. There is a stamp set. I actually did not get the stamp set. I just got the dies, and you can see that's the second largest. Love that. I have another set of these going on my order tomorrow because you can never have enough, right? And then when you can die cut 2 at a time, that's the best. So we've got that to stamp on. You're going to get a strip of early espresso to heat emboss your sentiment. I did go ahead and save some time tonight and did that heat embossing ahead of time. And then you're going to have a little piece of white for stamping your present. So let's go ahead and start with stamping. In this one, we are going to do some coloring as well. So coloring and fussy cutting. So we are going to stamp with our tuxedo black because we will color with our Stampin' Blends. I'm going to start with our cute squirrel. Now this is the squirrel that does not go with the punch. We're going to stamp that down here. And then we are going to grab our cute little tree trunk. And I'm going to get my head over this, but I'm going to stamp it so that the squirrel is sitting right on top. And it's okay that he's floating a little because we're going to use our sentiment to help out with that. And then we've got our extra piece of white here with our cute little gifty. Just stamp that down, okay? That's going to get fussy cut out, so you can see I just stamped it willy-nilly. And we are going to color. So let's start with the present because it's little. So I've got old olive blends for this so that it will match our linen thread that we're going to add later. But you could use any color of blends to color in your cute little gift. Balmy blue would be pretty. I don't know why that came to my mind, but it did. So anywho, I started with that dark where the ribbon is on the present, and then I'm going to use the light to color in the rest of the present. So this way, I am not using the blends as traditional blends. I'm using them as 2 tones of a marker, right? Okay, and then for our squirrel, I thought it would be fun to have a red squirrel. I know, red squirrels are the worst. But I thought it would be fun. I know, these the branching out dies are a must. Look how cute they are. You can make tags, you can make labels, sentiments, so many good things. So, anywho, we are going to color in our squirrel with our Cajun Craze. So I'm going to start with my dark and just add a little bit of shading. And I am choosing not to color in the stomach. Okay. And cute. Don't forget the tail. I have a coworker of mine who has just the worst horror stories of red squirrels living in her house, like in between the floorboards between her basement and her main level. Oh, she's just got stories. So I've just heard the red squirrels are the worst, but anyway, we're gonna make a red squirrel because the sentiment says go nuts, it's your birthday, and so I just feel like that's appropriate, right? Because if red squirrels really are like the most wild of the squirrels, then it works out. Okay, so we're gonna color. I'm going in now with my light to do the rest of the shading, the coloring here. And I like to color when I get into these larger sections, I like to color in a circular motion so I can pull that dark color out. But I do also outline because I don't know why, I can't color without outlining. I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe that's the normal way to do it. Anyway. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. And then we're going to color in that tree trunk, and I chose pecan pie for this. So what I'm going to do is just all these little, you know, the little, oh, they're not rings. I don't know. These little wrinkles on the tree. We're just going to do those with the dark pecan pie and then go in with the light to color in the rest. Okay. All right. If you guys saw my Instagram story this morning, oh, I had the best fall morning, and now it's sunny and kind of hot out. And so I had to change into a t-shirt, and I had to turn off my Scentsy pumpkin, and it stopped raining, and I was like, what the heck? So anyway, yeah. Okay, let's fussy cut this out before we start assembling, because then we can just assemble everything. So the present is not too bad because really it's just straight edges except for the bow. Okay, so we are going to trim around this. What is like the #1 thing on your wish list for new catalog? What are you most excited to order? For me, it was this bundle and the gingerbread bundle. I loved it. The bark, duh. Thanks, Lori. Oh, you don't have squirrels in Australia? That's not really a bad thing. I don't think that's, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say we don't have koalas, but we do. And we have kangaroos, but only in zoos. So, you know, you guys are pretty lucky with those. They're just so cute. I don't know. Anyway, do you have like wild kangaroos? Is that the dumbest question to ask? Like, okay, here in the States, Jenny, we have like deer crossing signs everywhere, at least in Minnesota. Is that like like the kangaroo just like hop across the street, or are they like mostly like, you know, in the woods or whatever? I don't know. I just had to ask. All right, I adhered that DSP on. Let's adhere our embossed layer with some dimensionals. I would love to go to Australia one day. It's definitely a bucket list. And I've actually heard, I have a friend, his dad went on a cruise around like the fjords in New Zealand, I think, and he was like, that was so cool. So I was like, well, I love to cruise, so that would be a cool cruise too. I have no idea when I could make it happen, but it's on the list. All right, so we have that adhered. Let's take our basic white label and add some seal, and then this is going to go in the center of this panel. We're going to cover up some of that birch, but it's still going to look cute. We've still got that fun texture around there. With both our sentiment and our present, we're going to add some dimensionals. So for the sentiment, I'm going to use the big ones, and then for the gifty, I'm going to use just a mini dimensional because it fits on the back a little bit better. The present isn't too tiny, but it's small enough where like a big one doesn't really fit. So, okay, so let's add the little present in his hand. So cute. And then we've got our sentiment. And I'm going to offset it just a little bit to the right here. So cute. All right, let's grab our old olive twine. I mean, look at this, or linen thread. It's so good, you guys. You have to get some because it's the best. Okay, I don't really measure this. I just eyeball. Like, that looks good. And I think I could get 2 bows out of it. So I just trim that, and then I like to straighten it. Now that it's a newer spool, so it's not too curly. And I just fold it in half and snip again to get 2 strands. And then I go ahead and just tie a regular bow, but while holding 2 strands instead of 1. And I like the look of that. I think it's so cute to have the 2, especially when they do that, and then it's just so cute. All right, and we'll just check the ends. Those are actually pretty even. I think I'm gonna leave that. Okay, let's grab our glue dots. Here they are. Stick the dot on the knot. Grab my take your pick tool to pick that up. And this is gonna go down here. So cute. And you can definitely trim the ends if you want to. And then I'm going to embellish here. I'm going to use a middle and a little, because you guys know I like to even up my embellishments, so now I'm back to being even. I know that's probably really weird, but I just always am like, oh, I need to even those back up. Oh my gosh, that's cool. Lori has 2 albino squirrels that have moved into her neighborhood. I've seen them, but not like frequently, so that's cool. All right, here's card number 2. How cute is that one also? That one's going to be fun for some of my friends, my guy friends who have birthdays in September and October. I can't wait to give them that card. Okay, let's go to card number 3, this cutie right here. And let's take a look at this card kit. We have got a crumb cake card base. I love all the fall colors in this week's class to go. I just love fall colors. We're going to play with fall for a couple of weeks before we switch over to Halloween, and then we're going to go to Christmas. So we've got a basic white layer here. We've got a piece of the Floral Charm DSP. This is the DSP we featured during our Fun Fold Frenzy craft along, one of them. And this piece, I just thought the pretty peacock would look really cute. So we've got that. We've got a scrap of basic white to stamp on. We've got a scrap of pecan pie to stamp on. And we've got a scrap of Cajun craze to stamp on. So let's start with stamping because it's the best place to start. And before we start, I'm going to grab my chamois and our squirrel that works with the punch. We previously stamped the filler image in pecan pie, and this time we're going to do stamped off early espresso. So I just wanted to clean that. And we stamped the outline before in early espresso, so that one's good. Okay. All right, let me actually grab my messy scrap paper, and we are going to open our early espresso ink pad. I wanted just a little bit of a different look than the squirrel on the first card. All right, so full strength with this guy. Okay, and then we're going to take the filler and ink that up, get it real inky, stamp that off, and then again, I got to get my head over this. Go ahead and stamp down our squirrel filler. Such a funny, our squirrel filler. Anywho, but I do just find that works best for me to line up just that little where the tail and the back meet first. Oops, we still want this. We're going to pull out our Cajun craze strip here and grab our sentiment that says, "Can't wait to see you again." And I am going to ink this up, and I'm actually going to stamp it towards the left-hand side. Like this. Because that side is a little bit straighter, and we're going to angle cut that right-hand edge off. So I'm going to stamp it towards the left because then I don't have to make 2 cuts. And one of them for sure will not be straight. Right? Or actually both would probably not end up being straight. But anywho. Okay, then we're going to grab our pecan pie ink and our cute little acorn. And we're going to stamp 3 acorns. So cute. And then I think I forgot to put this in the PDF. By the way, if you order the class to go, you do get a PDF. Or if you're on my team, you get access to that as well. Otherwise, I do sell it in my PDF store. But I think I forgot to mention this in the PDF. It is optional, but I do like the look of it. I'm actually going to take my light pecan pie blend and color the tops of the acorns, because the acorn stamp just does the outline. And I wanted it to just have a little bit of a different look on the top there. You know, like it would, they're usually darker than the nut part. So anyway, we're just going to add that in. Oh, cool. Jenny said they do have places with kangaroo crossing signs or koala crossing. And wallabies. Oh, cute. Oh, that is cute. We have Wily Wallaby licorice. Anyway, not to brag or anything, because, you know, the real animal is better than the licorice, I'm sure, but I do like, if you haven't tried Wily Wallaby licorice and you have access to some, it's so good. Okay, anywho, we punched out the squirrel, and then we're going to punch out our acorns. There's one. Here's two. I always just like to make sure, because it does give you that a little bit of like a wider border. So I do just like to take my time getting that lined up. And then I like to stamp or punch it sometimes with that up, just to make sure that, I don't know, it didn't move. Sometimes I do flip it over and punch, but usually if it's a stamped image, I just punch it up and let it, like, you know, confetti out. Okay, so there's all of our pieces here. I'm just getting rid of the little scraps, and then we're going to take our snips and just cut a little banner at the end there, a little angle. Okay, and then we can start adhering. So I'm going to start with the DSP and add some seal, and then this is going to adhere to the bottom of our basic white piece. Okay, just like so. And then we are going to flip this over. Now, I forgot, when you watch my reel on this card tomorrow, you'll notice I have my silicone mat in, and it's because I was like, oh, I gotta add my linen thread. We're gonna use our early espresso linen thread, and I'm gonna cut 2 pieces. I'm not measuring these, they're just longer than the card, or the layer. Okay, so we're gonna cut 2 pieces. And then I'm kind of feeling like the DSP is right here. I'm just going to stick those down on that exposed seal and just kind of use these as a little, what do you want to call it? A little like separator between the DSP and the basic white. And then, because I just get a little bit like, ooh, it needs more adhesive, I take some tear and tape. This is like old Paper Pumpkin tear and tape. You can also use, you know, just like regular Scotch tape or something, but then I also just tape these down. That might be a little bit of extra work, but I don't know. Lori, I don't know that Australia has been an incentive trip, but the South Pacific like region has, and I know that sometimes they count Hawaii as like South Pacific, and then they've also been to Fiji, but I don't think that they've been to Australia, but that would be super cool. So, okay, so I added, oh, you know what? I forgot something. Hold on. Okay, so I've got my silicone mat here to help with the adhesive. On this corner right here, the top right, I'm going to do a little bit of folding. So we are going to just bend our corner, and I'm going to grab my bone folder here, and I do have a little bit of adhesive, but it should be all right. So I just bend that corner down, and then I'm bending it back up. So it's like a little ripple effect. This part, again, totally optional. You don't have to do that. I kind of liked the look of it, like it was just a little bit torn. Like maybe the squirrel, I don't know, did something. I don't know. And then we're going to adhere this down to our card front. Now, I did notice when I originally made this card that even though I had some seal on that little triangular flap, it didn't really want to stay. Like I think there's just so much tension in the cardstock up there. It kind of wanted to wiggle. So what I did is I took a mini dimensional, and I just have both backings peeled off, and I stuck it underneath that last folded triangle and then just stuck it down to the card like that. So it is lifted. I like the look of it being lifted, but that way it's just, I don't know, kind of cool. Make sure it's secure as well. Okay, so on our squirrel, we're going to add some dimensionals. And that looks pretty good. Peel off those backings. And then this guy's going to go kind of towards the left, but we're leaving some space by his tail for a bow. Okay, so we're going to add that, and then I'm going to take our sentiment, and this is going to get adhered down flat, and I'm just going to stick this right here underneath the squirrel, but I'm having that edge on the right go off the side a little bit here. We're going to take our cute little acorns and add some dimensionals. Again, minis work a little bit better than the regular size for these. Okay, peel off those backings. I gotta open a pack. I just have the black dimensionals come with 4 sheets. So with a regular pack of dimensionals, you get 3 sheets because you get 3 that are all full size or 3 that are all mini. But when you order the black dimensionals, you get 2 full size and 2 minis. So I'm just using those up, but you could use whichever ones you have here. I do like using the black ones for a darker cardstock too, though, but it works well with white as well. I think sometimes you get nervous that like maybe it'll see through like a lighter cardstock, but it works so well. So, all right, so we've got those added, and then this one's gonna go towards the end of our sentiment here. Grab some more linen thread, and again, I don't really measure my ribbon and stuff that often. Sometimes I will for PDFs and whatnot, but usually I just eyeball it. And I'm just going to feed this underneath the twine we already have, and we're going to tie it into a bow. And it's going to be so cute. Okay. Now, if you wanted to do a double bow on this, because we do have the double threaded linen thread, you could do that, but I thought the single looked just cute. And then I just check. This tail's a little longer than the other. That looks good. This guy twisted. Twist him back. And if you wanted to add a glue dot under to hold it, you also could, but this way also you can scooch this back and forth to get that lined up wherever you'd like it. And we're going to finish this one off with some textured dots. Now, I just discovered, I don't know how I missed this before, the textured dots are gone. I didn't realize that, and I still have this pack, so I'm going to use them on this card. But the pressed flower motifs are a great alternative. We are going to use those, the pressed flower motifs, on the last card. They are a great alternative, or if you have textured dots, you can pull those out and use those. And that is our third card. I looked for them in the online store and I was like, oh, they're gone. I didn't realize it. Usually I do pretty good with like pulling things out once they retire, so I know they're gone, and I just had no idea. All right, so here is our 4th and final card tonight. I love this one. It's super cute. It is cased from the catalog in different colors. I use different colors for this one. And we've got a basic beige card base. We've got a piece of that Gathering Together DSP. This one is really cool because it is DSP, but it's that pattern of the embossing folder, and this side is super pretty. So cute. We've got 2 strips of Cajun Craze that we're going to stamp on. We've got a scrap of basic white to stamp on. We've got an everyday arch in basic white to stamp on. And we've got a crumb cake circle. This is from the Stylish Shapes dies that we are going to stamp on. So we have lots of stamping to do for this card. So let's go ahead and start with that. I'm going to start with my Early Espresso ink pad. And our sentiment that we used on the first card, we're going to use it in the same color. It says, "May you gather happiness." I think this is a really cute sentiment. I really like it a lot because you can use it for a lot of occasions. Oh, thanks, Alicia. Oh, cool. Oh, yay, Jenny. I'm so excited for you. That's exciting. That's cool. I am jealous too because I've never been to Hawaii. Okay, so we've got that stamped. Let's do our Cajun Craze strips next. We are going to want our messy scrap paper. And these I'm going to stamp kind of the same-ish. We're going to grab our Cajun Craze ink pad and stamp this little, it's kind of like the top of an acorn in my head. That's how I view it, but it's like a crosshatch type of thing. And we're just going to stamp these. Now the stamp is slightly too short to go all the way across. So you are going to want to stamp 2 next to each other is what I mean. And I am leaving just a little gap in between, but I love that this is photopolymer because you can see where you are stamping. And no, it's not perfect. Like, I'm not stamping these super great, but I mean, come on, it's like a squirrel card. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? So that looks pretty good to me. There's one, and then we'll do our second one here. And one side of the stamp I find is a little bit straighter than the other. Like the cutoff is at the same level, if that makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, so that's where I kind of eyeball it to line it up. And I just make it different so you can see like the intersection is here and then it's over here and then it's going to be on the right again. So I just try to change that, alternate it every time. Okay, so a couple more here. And then we've got our beautiful, this is our custom DSP background, right? It's fun. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but you guys, we are using every single stamp in the stamp set tonight. So exciting. I mean, I did do the heat embossing ahead of time. Actually, we're going to leave this. I did the heat embossing ahead of time, but every single stamp. How fun is that? Okay, so let's grab our arch, and we're going to grab our Tuxedo Black Memento ink and our cute little flower. We are going to stamp 1 on the right and 3 on the left. Okay, and it doesn't matter if they go off the side a little. I just want them kind of varying heights. All right, actually, let's leave that out. And then we're going to grab our chamois again. Now we want the squirrel that does not go with the punch. We previously stamped that in... Oh, we did use tuxedo, didn't we? I was thinking early espresso for the second card. You don't have to clean that. We're going to stamp it again in tuxedo. And stamp that onto our white scrap. And then we're going to stamp our tree trunk onto the white scrap. And get my head under that so we can make sure he's sitting. Okay, and I'm going to close up my Tuxedo Black ink. And last but not least, we've got our pecan pie, and we're going to stamp the squirrel filler. Okay, so ink that up. And again, I kind of look at the tail and the back where those meet, and then I kind of look at the feet, and then I look at the eyes, or the one eye that you can see, just to make sure that it looks pretty good. I was a teensy bit off on that, but honestly not bad, so we're going to leave it. Otherwise, you know, paper has 2 sides. You just flip it over and try again, right? Right. Okay. Oh my gosh, I keep trying to put this messy scrap paper away, and it's like, Melissa, hello. All right, so for our arch, we're going to use Cajun Craze and Old Olive blends to do some coloring. And the reason I have my messy scrap paper out is because we're going to get a little crazy with the grass here. So on the center of the flower, I am just dotting it. It's so teeny tiny, but I'm just dotting that with my dark Cajun Craze. And then the flower petals, I am coloring with the light Cajun Craze. Okay. And then we're going to use our Old Olive to color the stem. So with the dark Old Olive, we'll do the stem and the leaf. These are very simple flowers, so you don't have to get fancy with them at all, which is nice. Okay, just do that. And then we're going to have some fun with our light Old Olive. Are you ready? And basically, I just want to make sure that the tallest flower, that the stem is covered, right? And I am just using my brush tip, and we are just creating a little bit of grass. I don't know, a ground. And I don't want it to look too even, so, you know, we're just gonna have some fun. Okay? All right, so there's that piece. And then we're gonna pull back in our squirrel here. And for the tree trunk on this one, I'm gonna color it in with crumb cake, because we stamped the squirrel in pecan pie, so I didn't want the tree trunk to be the same color. But you can obviously change that around if you'd like to. So I did the dark on the bark, haha, and the light to color in the rest. And I outline a little and color this in. So cute, so cute. All right, we have a little bit of fussy cutting to do. Not with our ribbon scissors, though. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut this out. While I cut this out, I'll tell you a little story. So the kids were over today for their last day of summer. They don't start school until tomorrow. And they had meet their teacher night tonight, so I had to go drop them off to meet, you know, my sister and her husband and whatever, so they could go to that. And I was telling my nephew, I said, I'm so excited to meet your teacher tonight. And he goes, why are you meeting my teacher? And I said, oh, well, you know, and obviously I'm telling a story here, so it's not, I'm telling him a story. It's not real. I said, oh, well, she wants to meet me because she wants to know all the things I taught you this summer. And he goes, no, she doesn't. You're not coming in. You're not meeting her. And I was like, why? Why don't you want me to meet her? I think it was a little embarrassing. So when I dropped him off, I was in the car, whatever, and I said, bye, I love you so much. I hope I'm not embarrassing you. Luckily, there was only like one other kid outside, and I don't know that he knew who it was. So that worked out, but I just had the time of my life. That's what we live for as aunts, right? Like that's our job. It's our job to be fun and yeah, to embarrass a little, right? Oh, it just cracked me up though. But I am really excited because it has been about 2 months since we've had any sports, any games. They've had practices and whatnot, and they're both in like a year-round sport, and so they've had, you know, some practices, but there have not been any games. And so I got real hit with, you know, you get what you wish for type of thing, because on Saturday we have 3 soccer games and it's all day long, all day long. So anyway, you know, you get what you wish for, I guess. But yeah, I'm really excited to jump back into watching sports and having fun cheering them on because they're just my favorite people. So anywho, so for those of you who are in back to school season, I wish you the best. I wish the kids in your life the best. I hope they have a great year and that you get to embarrass them just a little. Not too much, but just a little. Hi, Joan. Welcome. I know it's definitely the aunt's job. You got to do it. You just have to. Okay, let's go ahead and assemble this card. You could actually flip and use this side as well of the DSP. It is very pretty, and the colors, obviously I planned those, so the colors would look good together. But I'm going to stick with this leafy side here. So we're going to adhere that to the card front. I'm about probably 1/2 inch from the right hand edge of the card. And then I just made sure it was equal, eyeball equal. Let's call it that. Eyeball equal, top and bottom. All right. I love that you guys are supporting me in the embarrassment. And thanks, Anne. I felt like a very slow fussy cutter tonight, but it was like all the little twists and turns with the squirrel, so I appreciate it. Okay, so on this first piece of Make It Yourself DSP, I'm just adding my dimensionals. And this is going to go on the left side of our DSP at a slight slant. Okay, and then we're going to take this piece. Now I flipped it over the short edge, right? So this corner right here, I'm not going to put any dimensionals because we're going to put seal, because that's going to overlap with the dimensionals that are already there. So I'm going to just do those other 3 corners and add a little bit of seal. And then this is going to get slanted on here. So again, you can kind of just push in right there. I can feel that the other dimensional is there. So I just want to make sure that I don't overlap. And you know what? I'm going to move this dimensional over just a smidge more because I want it to come in a little bit more and not be so close to the edge where it was before. Okay. All right. So there's that. Then we can take our arch and we're going to adhere this one flat and stick that on right about here. So cute. Take our cute little fussy cut squirrel. See, I can fussy cut when it's something cute. And we're going to do that. And we're going to add one more because you can never have too many, right? Right. Okay, peel off all those backings. And then he's going to go on our arch. And I'm going to make it, you're going to kind of cover a flower, but it's okay. Okay, so there we go. We're going to take our linen thread again. And again, I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to eyeball. That looks good. Here's my ribbon scissors. And this one was a little bit closer to the spool, so I like to just run it through my fingers to just help a little. Stories are always fun. Good, I'm glad. Okay, now kind of up here, not really measured, but just up in this area, I'm going to put a little bit of seal, and we're going to do our faux bow. So it's going to be a faux double bow, actually. So I'm taking the loose ends in my left hand, and I'm taking that looped end here in the right. I can't see. There it is. It's like I can't find my exposed seal. So I stuck the center of that on the exposed seal, and we're just going to use our fingers to wrap this around into a bow. And by double faux bow, it's a faux bow because we don't actually have to tie anything. Double, we're just going to go around again. And I just use my fingers and I just kind of eyeball it to see where it looks good. And we are going to, you know what, we're going to trim off the excess, but in a second. We'll wait a second. Now I want this to pop up right here. You can decide if you'd like it to be flat against the Cajun Craze or up. If you want it to be up, which I think is what we're going to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use my mini dimensionals again, and I'm going to take 3 of them. And right here on the left of my bow, I'm going to double stack. Okay. Double stack those dimensionals because we're going up on a level 2 here. Right, and then I just want to eyeball it to make sure, and then I'm going to stick right there 1 dimensional because that Cajun Craze piece is already up on dimensional, so we just need 1, and then we can go ahead and attach this down. Okay, and if you move like this one, my arch was over farther, so it's kind of hitting the arch more. You can, you know, mix and match with that. There's no real like science to it. Just have some fun, okay? All right, I'm going to trim off the tails a smidge. And we're going to finish this one up with the pressed flower motif. I love these. They're so pretty, and they work great because we've got some flowers in our card, but they're like a subtle flower, you know? Super cute. And that's our 4th card. What do you think of that one? Isn't that cute too? Oh, I love it. I love this squirrel set so much. It's just so fun. I love it. How many times can I say that, right? It's just true. All right, so let's pull in all 4 of the cards that we made together tonight. I hope you enjoyed making them or watching, you know, participating, whatever. I hope you enjoyed this week's cards. They are so fun. I love the fall season. I'm excited to craft for fall, and we're diving in. It's September 2nd. We're here. The pumpkins are out at our house, and the pumpkins are in the drinks. And the apples are in the drinks, and the apple orchards are open. I haven't gone yet, but they are open. Anywho, thanks so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. Please do make sure that you give the video a thumbs up. Thanks for reminding me earlier, Joan. Give the video a thumbs up or a heart if you're on Facebook, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel or like my Facebook page if you haven't already, okay? All right, as a reminder, if you would like these 4 card kits, if you want to make them at home and you want all that prep work done for you, I am happy to send them to you as a free thank you gift when you place an order in my online store. So if you place a $50 order before tax and shipping, and after you apply any Stampin' Rewards by the end of the day, this Friday, September 5th, 3, 4, 5. Yep, the 5th. I will send you the card kits for these as a thank you gift from me. So they'll go in the mail next Tuesday. You'll have lots of time to create with them. And yeah, they're just so cute. I just love this squirrel set so much, and I hope you do too. Don't forget that the new, I don't know where I put it, the new mini catalog launches tomorrow. Where did I put my, here it is. It's like, where did I put my copy? Mini catalog launches tomorrow. New online exclusives launch tomorrow as well. If I sent you a mini catalog, you should have already received it, but you had a little half sheet flyer in there that has the QR code for the online exclusive, so you can view that PDF as well. Okay. All right. Let's see. I think that's all I have for you right now. I think that's it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. As a reminder, I showed those club cards at the beginning of the video. If you'd like to join club, we'd love to have you. So come on and join us, club.stampwithmelissa.com. Otherwise, I'll see you next week for some more fall cards. Take care, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.